Tutankhamun, Life, Death, and Legacy of Egypt's Boy King. Intro. In November 1922, in Egypt's Valley of the Kings, British archaeologist Howard Carter peered into a dark chamber sealed for over 3,000 years. When asked if he could see anything, he replied, "Yes, wonderful things." Before him lay the untouched tomb of a young pharaoh, Tutankhamun. This discovery would ignite a global obsession with ancient Egypt and turn the little-known boy king into one of history's most famous rulers. But behind the golden mask lies a story of political turmoil, religious revolution, sudden death, and one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Who was Tutankhamun? Why was his reign so brief? And what truth lies behind the so-called curse of the pharaohs? Chapter 1: Egypt before Tutankhamun. To understand Tutankhamun, we must first understand the Egypt he was born into. His probable father, Pharaoh Akhenaten, had turned the kingdom upside down. He abandoned Egypt's traditional gods, closed their temples, and declared the sun disk Aten as the only deity. This was the first attempt at monotheism in recorded history. The capital was moved from Thebes to a new city, Ankhesenamun, known today as Amarna. But Akhenaten's religious revolution caused chaos. Priests were stripped of power, trade declined, and the empire's stability began to crumble. Into this turmoil, Tutankhamun was born, likely in 1341 BCE, during the final years of his father's radical reign. Chapter 2: The boy pharaoh, Tutankhamun ascended to the throne around 1332 BCE, when he was just 9 years old. His original name was Tutankhaten, meaning living image of Aten, reflecting his father's religion. But within a few years, under the guidance of his advisors and General Horemheb, his name was changed to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun. This was more than a name change. It was a declaration that the old gods had returned. The capital was moved back to Thebes, temples were reopened, and traditional art and culture were restored. For the people of Egypt, the boy kings symbolized hope and stability after years of upheaval. Chapter 3: Tutankhamun's family and marriage. Tutankhamun's family history is complicated and controversial. DNA testing on his mummy suggests that Akhenaten was his father, and his mother was likely Akhenaten's sister. This means Tutankhamun was the product of close royal inbreeding, a common practice meant to preserve the divine bloodline, but one that came with serious health risks. He married Ankhesenamun, his half-sister and the daughter of Akhenaten and Queen Nefertiti. Wall paintings in Tutankhamun's tomb suggest they were close, but the couple faced tragedy. 2 mummified fetuses found in the tomb are believed to be their stillborn daughters, an indication of possible genetic complications. Chapter 4: The death of the boy king. Tutankhamun's reign lasted only about a decade. He died around 1323 BCE, at just 18 or 19 years old. The cause of death remains one of Egyptology's most debated questions. Early theories suggested assassination, perhaps by a blow to the head. Later CT scans found no evidence of a fatal skull injury, but they did reveal a serious fracture in his left leg, which may have become infected. Genetic tests also revealed that Tutankhamun suffered from malaria and several inherited health disorders, including a clubfoot. This could explain why he was often depicted seated and may have needed a cane, many of which were found in his tomb. Chapter 5 – Burial and the Tomb. Tutankhamun's burial raises questions. For a pharaoh, his tomb is unusually small and hastily decorated. Some scholars believe his death was unexpected, and no grand tomb had been prepared. Others suggest he was buried in a chamber originally meant for someone else, possibly Queen Nefertiti. Despite its modest size, the tomb's contents were breathtaking. A solid gold coffin, chariots, weapons, jewelry, and the now iconic golden death mask. Unlike most royal tombs, Tutankhamun's had escaped ancient tomb robbers, preserving a priceless snapshot of Egypt's wealth and artistry. Chapter 6 – The Curse of the Pharaoh. Soon after the tomb was opened, newspapers began reporting strange events. Lord Carnarvon, who financed the expedition, died suddenly from an infected mosquito bite. His death fueled sensational headlines about a curse striking down anyone who disturbed the pharaoh's rest. In reality, most members of Carter's team lived long lives. Still, the myth of the curse became part of Tutankhamun's legend, adding an aura of supernatural mystery that persists to this day. Chapter 7 – Tutankhamun's Legacy. Tutankhamun was not remembered in ancient times as a great conqueror or builder. After his death, his name was removed from some official lists of kings, possibly erased by his successors to distance themselves from the Amarna period. For over 3,000 years, he was virtually forgotten. It was the discovery of his tomb that brought him back to life in the public imagination. Today, exhibitions of his treasures draw millions of visitors, and his face, captured in gold, has become a global symbol of ancient Egypt. Conclusion. Tutankhamun's life was short, his reign modest, and his achievements few by the standards of Egypt's great pharaohs. Yet through a twist of fate, his tomb remained sealed and intact, allowing him to achieve immortality not through conquest, but through rediscovery. From the politics of his time, to the mystery of his death, to the glittering treasures buried with him, Tutankhamun continues to fascinate the world. Perhaps that is his greatest legacy. To remind us that history is not only shaped by the mightiest rulers, but also by those who, through chance and circumstance, survived the passage of time to tell their story. Was Tutankhamun's death natural, or the result of palace intrigue? Share your thoughts in the comments. Like, share and subscribe for more journeys into the mysteries of ancient Egypt.